Hello, I'm Max Mustermann, and today I'm going to show you how the automation system in my game works. Okay, so the basic thing everything starts off are the machines. So I just grab a machine and yeah, I'll grab some other stuff we will need later. Okay, that should be enough for now. Let's take a painter as well. Okay, cool. So we have collected some stuff. Now we want to build a machine with that stuff. The easiest start is this scrap compactor here. We just can place it somewhere and then it will work. And if we don't want to carry the scrap in our inventory, we just can put the input next to the scrap compactor and we will still use the input from the from the spot next to it, and it will output to the spot to the right. Okay, the first thing we can automate is bringing the scrap to the scrap compactor, because that is an annoying thing to do. So let's use a painter, and with a painter we can draw stockpiles on the ground. Stockpiles are basically markers, and the workers will be able to read these markers and place items where you request it. For example, we have a painter here. We can set the painting mode to input slot. Then we can set the type to scrap. And now our painter is configured and we can draw a stockpile onto the floor. Now the NPCs should come and fill the input slot. Yeah, the NPC right now is picking the scrap up and will move to the input slot here and will dump this slot in the correct place. Great. So we can take the scrap compactor, and now it will automatically be used by the workers around. And since the workers always guarantee that it always has input, it should always be producing until the output is full. So let's do it manually. We can produce one metal bar and then the machine is blocked again. Now what we can do is to paint another stockpile here and have it move to storage and be processed and stuff. But we also can place the next machine right next to it and say we want to produce, for example, a rod. And now this machine will take from the left and put to the right. And now the whole system can work without any transport being done. And we can repeat that in a row. Now we can say we want to further process the bolt into a frame. Okay, so the NPCs should do that now automatically, Let's quickly configure them that way that they will actually do this. Okay, their priority is painting, then resource fetching. That all sounds well, but that's up the priority. The priority is classic base building stuff, so I won't go too deep over it. But we want them to first paint, then fetch resources, and then we want to have it operate machines. And then we have it manufacture stuff. Okay, so yeah, now it works. The NPC is now going over here, producing stuff and carrying the stuff away. Okay, cool. The manufacturing tables painted some stockpiles on the floor automatically when they were used. You can change those as well if you want. For example, a bigger production line is set up here. Those produce this one produces a room builder and actually needs 3 materials, and those up here produce doors. Okay. That is one way to automate things, by placing stuff next to each other, but that's not all you can do. You also can record macros. I'll show it. Like, I can produce a sheet. And start to record a command. That means I can record what I'm doing and I can later repeat it. So let's start recording. And let's go up here. Let's use this item, use this item. And then let's use this item over here. Once we've done that, we'll return to the command and confirm that and complete the recording. And now the recording is put into the command, and when I activate it, it will rerun the stuff I did before. And that way stuff can be automated, but we don't want to watch all the time how we are doing this stuff. So let's build a corpse animator really quick. Because we are going to create a ghoul. And ghouls can be set to run on those commands, and that saves a lot of time and effort. Let's put the corpse animator next to the command. Fetch a corpse, and then we should have our ghoul running the automation. Right. Now our ghoul repeats this stuff, does this stuff, and we need to set the command to repeat also. So it will, right now the ghoul will only do this thing one time, but we want to repeat it all over. So let's wait for the ghoul to complete the command, and then we have to I think the ghoul is called Heidi. Yeah, it is called Heidi. The ghouls should normally have no names, so that is an error. But now I can tell it should run the command below it, and this time it should actually repeat it forever. Okay, let's use the time to produce another sheet. And we see that the ghoul now is repeating the command over and over and over again. And that way we can automate quite a lot of stuff. The whole thing is very optional, but it is Turing complete, and you can do some neat tricks like you can chain the commands. For example, we can set it to not repeat anymore, the lower command here, and then we can record a command from here to go down there, use the command there, then go pick up what we produced and put it over here. Great. And now we have a command that calls the other command. Which allows you to build some pretty complex systems. Okay, so I now start the ghoul to repeat my command. It should drop the frames here. Yeah, cool. The command apparently was not set to repeat yet. So let's do that and have the ghoul do this forever. Okay. One thing you can do, which is theoretically possible, but not I rarely use it, but let's demonstrate it anyway. So the scrap compactor here can have problems like Now it cannot produce because the output is full. And then you can record commands to do what to do in specific circumstances. For example, we can say if the output is full, then it should record the macro to take the produced output and put it one square to the right. So let's produce something, run the macro. And it put an item here. Ooh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have the disable in this version because it's too experimental, but basically the idea is that you can have items that basically work as an if condition, or that you can for example, you can could have an item that runs command A if an alarm is going on, and runs a command B if no alarm is going on. Or you could have the scrap compactor run a command if the output is full, or run another command if the input is empty, or run a different command if the production just was successful. Okay, I think that basically covers the ghouls. Yeah, the only thing left to say is that the command items are physical items in the game. So you can record macros that take these commands and stack these commands, or rather, you can have ghouls that go to a stack of commands, take the first one, run it, put it on another pile, and take the next one. And that way you can build really fancy automations. Another automation style that exists in the game is traps. For that I will produce a trigger plate and a rod tower. Basically, the idea is that the traps are consisting out of two components, the sensor and an actor, and you can connect the sensors with the actors as you wish. For example, I can put a rod tower here, and when I activate it, it will damage the surrounding area, like this. Okay, and then we can put a trigger plate here, and when I press the trigger plate, nothing happens. But I can configure it and have the trigger plate connected to the rod tower up here. And now when I activate the trigger plate here, then the rod tower will activate. It has some cooldown. Okay, so that way you can connect different connect sensors, like there's a motion sensor as well, like up here it's a motion sensor and a shock tower, and the shock tower will shock wherever the motion was detected, or there's a bolt tower that shoots into the direction of the sensor. You also can connect multiple sensors to a tower and a sensor to multiple towers. Yeah, I think that was it. So I wrap up this mini-series, and I'd be happy if you try it out. So, see you.